Hello, Zach Spitzer aka Spitz VGC here, and in this video I will be breaking down my Week 6 matchup against Ted Rankin and the Hartford City Flare Blitzers. Last week we were able to get a crucial 2-0 win to move ourselves up in the standings as we get closer to the playoffs. Ted, of course, here will not make it easy for us to get a 2-game win streak. He was able to get his own first win last week and will be looking to build on top of that for himself. And Ted presents some really interesting challenges for us this week, as his team, for the most part, is a mono fire team. So we're going to have to find creative ways to get around the team that he is putting together. Let's break down the specifics for what we should expect this week. As a reminder, here is what the standings look like heading into Week 6 of the Hoot Hoot Draft Association. As you might recall, I am right on the cusp of that playoff line, only because of my head-to-head win against the Goldenrod Gliscors, so I have to be on my toes for these last few weeks. Ideally, of course, I am able to win the remainder of my sets, but it would be even more helpful if I could go for some 2-0 wins, as I'm in a really tight pickle with several other players in this area. So the goal for this week, obviously, of course, will be to win, but we would like to see a 2-0 win as well if we can manage to swing it. So taking a look at Ted's team, as previously mentioned, it is for the most part a mono fire team. There are, of course, some exceptions to that rule. Greninja is a water and dark type Pokemon, but with its Protean ability can change its type based off of the first attack that it uses. Castform can also change its type depending on the weather, making it either a fire, water, or ice type. And then while Bastiodon can never change its type, it does still have that steel and rock typing and the ability to support its team with moves like Wide Guard. So those are a couple of Pokemon I will be keeping an eye on this week. I will especially be focusing on that Greninja. Greninja has come to nearly every single game for Ted this season. I expect that to be no different this week. I expect that Greninja will be there and be a prominent part of Ted's strategy to try to beat me this week. I also expect that Bastiodon will be a must-bring. Its Rock-type moves hit Delphox for super effective damage, its Steel-type moves hit Clefable for super effective damage, and Wide Guard can be really disruptive to the spread damage that I want to use. The other Pokemon can kind of vary for this week. The thing is, Ted has brought all of these Pokemon to at least 4 games already this season, meaning that he no longer has to worry about a quota to try and bring any of these Pokemon. And so, as a result, he's kind of free to pick whichever Pokemon he chooses. For that reason, I think there's a couple of Pokemon that are givens. I think Arcanine will definitely be coming this week. Its Intimidate is really helpful. It can use moves like Wild Charge to hit my Tauros for super effective damage. I think that Charizard Mega is a given. It is one of the strongest Pokemon in the VGC scene, and its Solar Beam ability is going to be really good into Tauros. And then Ninetales I also expect to come this week. It's a very fast Pokemon, and with that Drought ability, it's able to get Solar Beams up basically without much hassle. So, if I am looking at Pokemon that Ted could potentially drop this week, I am looking potentially at that Mega Emboar. Mega Emboar has an absolutely abysmal matchup into Mega Delphox, so I think it's going to be really difficult to get it going, though we will still respect it somewhat in the team building process this week. And then Castform is likely the other drop, though I think that Ted could do some really fun things with Rain Dance and Water Form Castform. We'll see if he ends up choosing to do that. I would pick one of those 2 Pokemon to potentially be a drop. Volcarona could also be a drop, but I think with Quiver Dance and with Tailwind and with Giga Drain, it's got a lot of moves that could potentially give me some trouble, so I think that Volcarona is likely going to be the 6th Pokemon that Ted brings this week. So let's talk about the team that I will be bringing this week, and it starts with one of my main damage dealers in Water, the Tauros. So, the move spread itself is pretty straightforward. Wave Crash hits a ton of Ted's team for super effective damage. Rock Tomb allows me to hit both Charizard and Volcarona for quadruple effective damage, and Close Combat does the same thing into Ted's Bastiodon. The speed here is just absolute max speed. This is basically me telling Ted, you have to run max speed on your Volcarona and Charizard if you want to not get hit by a Rock Tomb, and even if you do, it's still a 50-50 that I get that Rock Tomb off anyways. I think it's very high impact, So that's ultimately why I decided to go with this. Because Tauros is a major damage dealer for me, I want to keep it alive for as long as possible. It can partially do that with Intimidate, but it will also be holding the Rindo Berry this week, which reduces the damage from super effective grass-type attacks. Charizard and Ninetales can both carry Solar Beam, and I both kind of expect them to carry Solar Beam, and Volcarona can carry Giga Drain as well, so I want Tauros to be able to survive at least one of those hits and respond in kind with a Rock Tomb or a Wave Crash. Agua the Clefable is going to be one of my main supports this week. So, as you'll notice, there's no Moonblast here. Kind of one of the drawbacks of going up against a mono fire team with a steel type on it is that they all resist Fairy. So, instead, we will be going with Air Slash. Air Slash will hit Volcarona for super effective damage, and it will also hit Mega Emboar for super effective damage. Though, realistically, I don't expect Ted to bring it. I do want to respect Mega Emboar in the team building process. So that's what Air Slash is here for. The 30% flinch chance also helps, and I get that stab if Clefable were to Mega Evolve. A lot of my points are invested in my bulk, specifically on the special side, but also with my 6 points of speed, a Mega Clefable will be able to outspeed an uninvested Mega Emboar. So that's the reason why I went with that speed. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't end up outspeeding, but we've got that there. And then Magic Guard I don't think will come up super often, but if I happen to catch like a burn or something else like that, I will be able to at least shrug off that damage. So that's the game plan for Clefable. Next we have Spray Fan the Rotom. So this Rotom is trained to outspeed Greninja while it is holding that Choice Scarf. So Choice Scarf Rotom will be the move for this week. With this speed, I'm able to outspeed Greninja. The special attack gets me that second special attack bump. And then the rest is invested inside of its general bulk. More specifically on the special defense side, I think that Ice Beam could potentially be a tricky thing for Rotom to have to deal with. Greninja has carried it in the past. I wouldn't be surprised if it was carrying it again this week. So we've got some tools to kind of help us out with that. Electro Web is going to be the main support move for Rotom. Of course, Ted does have that Bastiodon with Wide Guard, so I do have to keep an eye out for that. But otherwise, Rain Dance will help me shut down any Sun shenanigans and do it in a way that's really fast. I don't really have great ways to do that with this team, so this is one of my ways to be able to do that. Volt Switch gives me a good pivot option, and then Eerie Impulse shuts down a lot of the special attacks that Ted will want to go for this week. So this will be Spray Fan the Rotom, one of my main supports for this week. My other main damage carry for this week is Groundwater, the Rhyperior. So with this set, I've really come to love the Focus Sash set with this Rhyperior. It's done me a lot of good when combined with some other key stuff. So I'm going to use that again this week. Focus Sash is going to help keep it alive from a hit like a Water Shuriken or from one of those aforementioned grass-type attacks. And the speed, I kind of went back and forth on this one. But with this speed, if I get a speed drop on a max modest Charizard or Volcarona, I actually speed tie at this speed stat. So an interesting little tidbit there. If they're running any less speed than that, the Rhyperior will outspeed it after one Electro Web. But of course, I also have the option with Rock Polish. So with Rock Polish, I have enough speed that I will be able to outspeed everything on Ted's team, barring some Choice Scarf Pokemon. So I'll be able to use that to boost up my own speed. High Horsepower is going to be the choice rather than Earthquake this week. I want to respect Bastiodon's Wide Guard, and so High Horsepower lets me do that. And then Rock Slide is just generally a good move that will be able to hit a lot of those Pokemon for super effective damage. So Rhyperior will be my other damage carry and another Pokemon I will be looking to help carry me to victory this week. Next, we have Steam the Delphox. So this set is a little bit unusual from sets I've run in the past. The spread is pretty straightforward. Mega Delphox will outspeed Greninja and speed creep anything that's like 1 point faster at its current speed. We max out special attack to max out our damage, and then we go with a little bit of extra special bulk. So this Delphox has Calm Mind this week. And so I didn't really have a lot of success with Calm Mind in the past, but I think that Calm Mind could be really beneficial here because there's a lot of special damage over on Ted's side, and I want to be able to adequately respect that. I think putting it next to Clefable gives me a lot of opportunities to be able to set up this week. So as a potential third damage option, I think Delphox could be really good. No fire type moves this week because of the aforementioned resists. Even though I could have taken advantage of the sun, there's not really much that I can do with that. in all honesty. So the game plan this week is that we're going to go with Scorching Sands as our move of choice. This hits nearly everything on Ted's team for super effective damage, especially that Bastiodon, who I think could potentially cause some issues. And then Psychic is just a really good stab move that can hit a lot of Ted's Pokemon for super effective damage. Finally, we have H2O the Absol coming off of the bench and making another appearance this week. Realistically, though, I do think there's a world where Absol doesn't come to any of the games, depending on what Ted decides to bring, but I think it has some really good tools that could help us out. Stone Edge, of course, hits Charizard and Volcarona for 4 times super effective damage. Psycho Cut allows me to also hit Mega Emboar for super effective damage, and then Sucker Punch is just a really good priority move that I can use with its own 50% critical hit rate as well. Super Luck and Scope Lens will be the combo that we're using again this week. This means that all Stone Edges and all Psycho Cuts are guaranteed critical hits, which is a good way of getting around Arcanine's Intimidate. And then Sucker Punch will have a 50% chance to crit on its own. So this will be the team for this week. I thought there was a world where I could bring Gourgeist, but unfortunately Gourgeist just didn't have much of a shot to come this week. And then obviously Mega Aggron had 0 chance of coming this week. There was no way I was going to be able to make it work. So with that, let's get to the games. Okay, let's see what we're looking at this week. Oh, there is a cast form, and no Bastiodon. Okay, so there's no Bastiodon. And, okay, no Emboar. So, no, Emboar I did not expect. I really thought that Bastiodon was coming this week. A little annoying to see the Volcarona, but that's okay. I did not prepare for cast form at all, so I'm not really sure what to expect there. This is good to know. This is good info. I think, given this lead, I think I can stick with my Game 1 regular lead. So we're going to go Rotom. Man, I really was expecting... I think this lead still works. So we'll do these 3. And then it's pick your own Mega at this point. Let's see. I think we're gonna go Clefable. I think just the support is kind of necessary. So yeah, we'll see if this works. I'm a little worried that this Greninja could be Choice Scarf, which would mess me up, but I'm going to hope that it's not. So, first leads are Greninja cast form. Okay, I'm scared. This feels like a rain dance angle, right? I don't think you lead this unless the Greninja is dancing in the rain. That's my guess. So, given that, I think my normal turn 1 play here I think is fine. Do Electro Web, and I could just switch right from the get-go, but I think that Protect is totally fine here, so we're going to Protect. Okay, so that is Choice Scarf. That's a bummer. Shoot. Okay. So it's Choice Scarf on the Greninja. So then do I keep Rhyperior in, or do I swap it for Tauros? I could also, in theory, swap the Rotom. I see win on the cast form. Interesting. Okay. So I think I could also just stay in with both. I think that's a totally viable option. And then Rock Slide should just KO the Greninja. I could also lose Rotom here, which would be unfortunate. But I think that this is an okay play. Okay, so I lose Rotom here, which is not ideal. Crit might have been? I'm guessing probably not. I think with the Icy Wind should be down Oh, wow, that almost just knocks Castform out. Okay, cool. I'm going to lose my Focus Sash here, which is not ideal. Yeah, I think that should have been a Tauros switch. But that's okay. Everything else left is a fire type, which is the good thing. So should be able to bring Tauros in now. Here's the Charizard. There is a speed drop on this Castform right now. So there's a couple of angles I could take this. I think I want to go Walk Tomb on Charizard to get around the sun. I think we switched it. So, yeah, I could have called that. I'm guessing this is probably another Icy Winds. Yeah, nice play. It's still fine though, I think, right? I could still go Rock Tomb. I think from here, do we Mega? Ooh. Oh wait, hold on a second. What if we did Rock Tomb? No, I think I want both KOs here. So we'll Air Slash. So he's going to be able to hit me with a Solar Beam. Oh, Energy Ball would mess me up, wouldn't it? Does Castform get Energy Ball? It might. If it does, that would be an issue. Okay, so here's the Solar Beam. I'm Rindo here, so I should take this. I do, but not by much. Okay. Rock Tomb KOs the Charizard, though, so that's good. So I think Tauros has kind of done his job. Ice Beam, that bad. Okay, good play. I should write that down. Ice Beam. So I think we're still good. I think the game plan still generally works. So we had Solar Beam and Protects on Charizard. And it's Arcanine as the back. Okay. I kind of want to double protect here. So... Oh, okay. He's protecting. Cool. So, it's a little awkward, right? Because he could go for, he could go for extreme speed to get around my Follow Me. I could switch to Rhyperior. But I feel like Rhyperior's health is important here. I think I'm gonna go Rock Slide, or Rock Tomb, I think we just try to get damage down here. Okay, yeah, there's the extreme speed. I kind of figured. It's Life Orb on the Arcanine, okay. Good damage. Honestly, actually, with another Life Orb tick, that should pick up, so that's good. I think we protect again. I'm trying to see if there's a world where I would potentially lose this. He keeps protecting and getting around my protects. There have to be, like... I don't know that Arcanine... Does Arcanine get a grass-type attack? Or a water-type attack? I'm not sure that it does. So its last turn is Sun. Did it ever Rock Polish here, actually? I think we'll just swing with both. Go for Air Slash. Because we saw, based off of the damage roll, that should pick up with Life Orb Tech. So... Wild Charge, okay, makes sense. Okay, yeah, going Mega was, might not have necessarily been the call there. That's okay. Okay, thank you. Alright, we hit our high horsepower. I did miss one of those in practice, and it was horrible. So, okay, we're going to take game one. So, Wild Charge, Protect, and E-Speed on the Arcanine. And it's Choice Scarf Greninja, which is... So it's like good and bad, right? It's like good and bad. So I can, cause now I have options to Oko this Greninja, and I can scout out for the Protean, which is great. However, I don't really know. Yeah, I don't know. The set still confuses me a little bit. I'm gonna be honest. But we at least get one win, so that's good. We'll take that, 100%. Let's see, what else did we see? Castform had Icy Wind. I think it only clicked Icy Wind. I don't think it clicked anything else. We didn't see the Ninetales. Solar Beam Protect. Greninja had Ice Beam. Choice Scarf Ice Beam is not super duper great. I will at least say that much. Actually, depending on how this Greninja is trained, there's a world where that actually occurs, which would be annoying. This might honestly be a Delphox angle in this game too. I think I still need one of Tauros or Rhyperior for sure. I think I always bring Rotom here, so. I could go same leads. I could go Absol instead. Oh man, I really don't know what to do here. I kind of like same leads, believe it or not. Let's try Delphox in the back. This means I bench Clefable, which is, some would say reverse good, but, honestly, I mean, like, the Ice Beam, the Wild Charge, yeah, Ice Beam, I think, was on Cast Form as well. Okay, so this is Greninja Bulk. Which could potentially be really annoying. It's bad that I kind of want to just swing with Rhyperior right off the bat. I should protect and scout. I really don't want to. think we go Electro Web and Luck Slide. We'll learn a lot about this Volcarona here in a second. Whoa. I did not know it learned that. Oh, God. Okay, I did not know it learned that. That's... that's an issue. Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay, I don't even get a Rock Slide off. Okay, now what? Oh, Rock Slide. I think I swap... I think we swap Rotom into Tauros here. Whoa. Could obviously be Giga Drain, right? Against my better interest, this is what I'm going for. Being locked into Rock Slide is better than nothing. It means that the Ninja is just kind of stuck there. So I think I can get Tauros in a position to do some damage here. Okay. Dodge is fine. Do I take a Giga Drain from Volcarona? I have no idea. Guessing probably not. Oh, it's Quiver Dance. Oh, okay, okay. Rock Slide, I need you to hit right now. Please, please, please. No! Oh, my lord. Okay, alright. That's bad. That is actually... That, some might say, is worst case scenario. Oh, that's so bad. Okay. Oh, my lord. Okay, Rock Slide Flinch is killing me right now. I think it's still okay, though, because Rindo Berry is kind of bailing me there. Yeah, this is probably a Switching Protect, isn't it? Is Rockton pick up there? I don't know. Okay, we call the Giga Drain. So that drops the Volcarona speed back down. Obviously, Arcanine is threatening Wild Charge. I could just swing and knock it out. And I have the speed advantage right now on this Volk. So I kind of want to just Wave Crash the R. Oh, but it could be Pasho, though. I actually wouldn't be surprised if it was Pasho. So I think the answer here is to protect. We'll bring Rotom in. Yeah, you don't swap into Arcanine, I think, unless you have Pasho. Okay. But I still think that Wild Charge... I still think that Wild Charge is my best play here, unfortunately. Okay. I think that Wave Crash is still my best play. It means I'm probably going to lose Tauros, though, if I go for it. Now, if you're not Pasho, I'm in great shape, but... That tells me that's not the case. So... Yeah, okay, so use a Protect from Volk. Oh! Okay, this is fine. I'm good with this. Oh no, we already know. We know you're not Pasho. You were Life Orb earlier. Okay. Wait, is that a good thing? Because now I give him a free switch to the Greninja. I have no idea if that's a good thing. Interesting. Okay. Oh, I totally could have gone for Wave Crash on the last turn. That's my bad. Okay. So next we're going to bring in Delphox. Use that Greninja again. I'm guessing... Because you run Extra Sensory. We've seen Ice Beam and we've seen Rock Slide. You can play for Rock Slide Flinches, which would be horrible. I think we always Wave Crash the ball. He could be Icy Wind too. If you're Icy Wind, so be it. I think we're gonna Mega Protect here. Wait, no, I was supposed to double Protect here. Oh, Jack. I'd like to see a Water Shuriken here. I think this is Extra Sensory. Oh, it's Waterfall. Oh, okay. Cool. Taking Big Drain, which is good. Ooh, okay, hold on a minute. Oh, we're actually in some trouble now, aren't we? Oh, I can't believe this Rock Slide flinches earlier. That's fine, that's fine. So we said Waterfall and Rock Slide. Ninja. Shoot, okay, if it's... Yeah, if it's Charizard in the back, we're in some trouble, aren't we? Yeah, okay. Well, we have a little bit of an interesting pin situation, right? Or, like, an interesting, like, situation here. So, the Charizard wants to Mega Evolve, right? But it can't do that without reducing the damage of Waterfall. So I think this just comes down to calling the targets. Unfortunately, I just protected with Delphox, so it's kind of susceptible to an attack on this turn. I would have to hope that I take a Waterfall. I'm not 100% sure if I do or not. So I think we Rock Slide. We go Psychic, I think? Okay, so here's the Charizard Protect. Please take this. My goat! That is my goat. Alright. Oh, if that had been Rock Polish, though, I would have been so good. Alright. Does Charizard have a move that knocks out both Pokemon? You're gonna Mega Evolve this turn. Psychic should 2-hit. So you kind of have to pick. I think the answer might be Rock Slide Miss. As annoying as that is. Oh, that'd be horrible. That'd be so horrible. I don't want it to come down to Rock Slide. Yeah, we're gonna click it. Rock Slide. Psychic. I think Psychic 2-hit KOs. I think. This is Delphox. Unless this is an extremely specially bulky Charizard, this should 2-hit KO. So, I think we just swing with both. Heat Wave could miss 2, right? Okay, that does 2-hit KO. Only just barely. That could be a roll. Okay, and that's Solar Beam into the Rhyperior. Right? Yeah, okay. This is gonna come down to if Psychic can pick this up. Good thing I didn't call mine there. That would have made no sense. But yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do at this point. I think I just have to hope that Psychic gets that roll. So, Delphox saved me. Come on. Yes! Alright, sweets. And with that, that'll be a 2-0 win. I'll tell you what, that was a very dicey 2-0 win. Shout out to Ted for finding the Choice Scarf Greninja. That was the one thing I was like, wow, really hope he doesn't run Choice Scarf Greninja this week. And then he did, and it made my life so very bad. So, not really much I could have done there. But yeah, we managed to pull through. GG's to Ted. Fun set. Yeah, I was not ready for that Greninja at all. But we managed to pull through, and get our 2-0 win, so we'll take that. That'll put us up to 4-2 on the season, which puts us in a really good spot, getting into the playoff picture. As always, we'll do some takeaways from this week, starting with things that worked. Tauros and Rhyperior ended up being extremely good win conditions. This wasn't particularly surprising, given that most of the team was fire type, but still ended up working out really well in our favor, keeping them safe and letting them do their thing. Worked out really, really well for me. Rhyperior also ended up being a great adjustment on Tauros. Heading into this week, I thought that Expert Belt might have some good use, given that water and fighting type damage hit the entire team for super effective, but using that Rhyperior to give myself extra survivability ended up paying off in a big way, as Tauros was able to take Solar Beams and Giga Drains to help contribute a little bit more to the battle. Additionally, that small amount of Delphox Polk ended up pulling through big time. It wasn't much, it was only I think 7 HP and 1 defense, but that small amount of bulk ended up coming through in a really big way in that Game 2 endgame, and I'll get a little bit more into the math on that one specifically, as it wasn't a given that we were going to win there, but really happy with how that ended up pulling through. Things that didn't work. First off, in Game 2, I forgot about Arcanine's item. I took notes on it in Game 1, was able to recognize that it was a Life Orb, but I ended up being influenced by some of my plays in Game 2 because I thought that Arcanine might be Pasho Berry, even though I had already taken note of the fact that it was Life Orb. So, going forward, I'm going to have to make sure that I'm using my notes a little bit more to my advantage to keep track of items such as that. Additionally, I didn't adequately scout for Scarf Greninja. I knew that Scarf Greninja could potentially be an issue heading into this week, and in talking with my opponent, it seems like this is something that came up quite often in their matches, was using that Scarf Greninja. So that's something I should have scouted out for a little bit better. I didn't quite do a good job with that, and I'll have to work on my scouting for future weeks. Additionally, Calm Mind didn't end up getting any use for Delphox. I've tried Calm Mind a couple of times this season, hasn't really gotten the use that I've been hoping for, so I'm going to have to find better ways to be able to get Delphox up and going with that Calm Mind, or with just better moves that aren't Calm Mind. Some of the game takeaways here. Game 1, being able to clear Greninja early ended up working out really, really well in my favor. It gave Tauros and Rhyperior the space that they need to be able to clean up the matches here. In Game 2, had some really bad RNG. I was really happy with how I was able to pull through. Despite that, the double Rock Slide flinch ended up being really bad for me, especially on the turn when Volcarona set up the Quiver Dance, as a Rock Slide would have just KO'd it outright and put myself in a better spot. The other piece of bad RNG that I did not realize at the time, but discovered afterwards, is that their Volcarona was max speed, meaning that it won a speed tie against my Tauros late in that game too. I think had my Tauros won that speed tie and ended up knocking out the Volcarona, I would have been much safer in that end game than I ended up being. Additionally, I did end up winning that final 50-50. So to better explain that one, I talked to my opponent a little bit afterwards about that waterfall, and that waterfall in the Delphox had a 37.5% chance to OHKO, meaning that there was a world where Delphox just went down. If you factor in the 20% chance that waterfall has to flinch, there is an exactly 50% chance that my Delphox either ended up getting knocked out or ended up getting flinched from that attack. So that final 50-50 ended up working in my favor, and I was really happy that I managed to pull it together when it seemed like all hope could have been lost. To wrap things up, here's a quick look at the standings after 6 weeks. As you can see, my 2-0 win did end up giving me a little bit of breathing room, but I cannot rest. There's still 2 weeks left in the regular season. I have not been able to lock up a playoff spot just yet, So all I can do at this point is just keep winning and see where the chips fall. That'll wrap it up for this week. Thank you guys as always for watching, and I will see you all next week.